Hi, I'm Janet Shields Scott, and you're listening to JanetFitBeautyStyle.com, a lifestyle talk guide with expert advice on beauty, fashion, wellness, real estate, entertainment, and fun celebrity secrets. I'm your host, Janet Shields Scott. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do love doing this podcast, and the fact that you have tuned in means everything to me. So please don't stop listening. Today I have two recorded speeches with two amazing women, and they both have inspiring messages. First is my good friend and sister, award-winning PR and branding expert, Karen Taylor Bass. So proud of her. And then we have, I was invited to hear actress Jada Pinkett Smith speak at Moorehouse College. She was being honored during the HBCU Power Awards. I just had to let you listen to both of these speeches because they're just truly inspiring. Before we listen to these two esteemed women, let's get to our inspiring words of wisdom. They're both on Facebook, and the first one is, if you don't love yourself, you'll always be chasing after people who don't love you either. All right, and then the next one is from the Law of Attraction. Again, that's from Facebook. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. That's another one to make you say, All right. We'll be right back after this message for more inspiring words of wisdom. You can log on to my Facebook page, or which is Janet Shields Scott, or JanetFitBeautyStyle.com, or you can log on to my Instagram page as well, which again is Janet Shields Scott or JanetFitBeautyStyle.com. We'll be right back. Sports fans, PassPros.com has it all. Baseball, basketball, hockey, and soccer. Get autographs and memorabilia direct from former pro athletes. Don't forget to check out the upcoming events page for special events near you. PassPros.com offers t-shirts, athletic gear, artwork, vintage cards. Log on to PassPros.com. Welcome back to JanetFitBeautyStyle.com, a Janet Shields Scott podcast. And I'm your host, Janet Shields Scott. And as promised, a recorded speech, a speech that I recorded of my good friend, Karen Taylor Bass. Let's take a listen.
I want to briefly leave you with a reinvention tip. How many of you have found the economic downturn challenging? Raise your hand. Right? To say it loud. I'm going to tell you a tip that I used when I was a publicist, and I use it now in my business as I've reinvented as the host of Brand New You for BlackEnterprise.com, their #1 web series, and also the chief mom of the Brand New Mommy. Be resourceful. Really simple, be resourceful. Around 12 years ago, when I was a publicist for Jill Scott for over 7 years, and I decided to leave to have children, I was looking to score her as a client. And she was interviewing over 20 publicists. So being resourceful, you're here to network, leave your friend behind, walk around and mail and be resourceful. I was at a club, she was performing, I walked in, and I said to the bouncers, can you introduce me to Jill Scott? And they said, absolutely not. And I said, okay. So I became resourceful. I sat right by the VIP, waiting for a VIP to walk in. And sure enough, Lawrence Fishburne walked through. So, as he was walking and approaching, I said, hi Larry, how are you? If anyone knows anything about a thespian artist, they'd like to be called their proper name, Sir Lawrence Fishburne. So when I said to him, hi Larry, he immediately stopped to curse me out. And all I did, ladies and gentlemen, was be resourceful. I smiled and nodded my head, and smiled and nodded my head. And as he entered the VIP room, the bouncer came next to me and said, "I'm so sorry we left you here. Do you want to go to VIP?" Absolutely. She came off stage. I met her. She said, "Come to Philadelphia, spend your own money." As an entrepreneur, small business owner, don't wait for the opportunity. Spend your own money. Got on the train, went to Philadelphia, met her, and scored the client. So here are my words for you today. Don't be afraid to reinvent. Don't be afraid to travel by yourself. Don't be afraid to get cussed out. And never ever be afraid of knowing your worth. Have a great evening. Take care.
Thank you so much, Cam.
Next up, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Wow. I want to say thank you for this acknowledgement. But as you acknowledge me, you're acknowledging a power far higher than myself, because my work does not belong to me, but to the divine. Thank you. I want to say, first and foremost, it is an honor to be here at Moorehouse. It really is. And I wanted to take a minute to speak to the beautiful black men of Moorehouse. Is that okay? Is it okay if we have a bit of a real conversation tonight? Is that okay? Because as your sister, as your mother, as your wife, as your neighbor, I just have some things I want to share with you. So, I know that there are a lot of you here tonight pondering how you're going to make your mark on this world. And in order to do so, one has to consider how they're going to wield their power. And I was once in your shoes pondering the same thing. But since then, I've learned a lot about the dynamics of power. And there's been a lot of conversation lately about the misuse of power. We often talk about its constructive nature, but we don't talk enough about power's destructive nature when it's not managed responsibly. When we have power, and we all do, we must be vigilant in how we are with our power, because it affects everyone around us. Power has a way of making one who wields it to believe that he or she is always right, therefore condoning or creating systems of hierarchy that by its nature has a disdain for equanimity of any kind. Through status and accomplishments, one can be fooled into feeling that they are better than someone else. Therefore, you are entitled to ... Now, you can fill those blanks with all kinds of things, but what's important, especially for people of color who have experienced oppression from the various forms of hierarchy, is that any of us who choose to believe that we are better than anyone else is practicing an aspect of psychology that birthed slavery, racism, sexism in all its forms. Now, sexism is a sibling of racism, which is why I want to emphasize to you beautiful black men the necessity of equanimity in changing your relationship to women culturally and socially. Okay? How can we fight racism while still embracing the sexism? When they are one and the same, never forget the quality of a king is illuminated through the condition of his queen and his kingdom. Now, there's a lot of healing that has to happen in our community in regards to how black men and black women relate. Black men can't demand justice or equal treatment for themselves, while with the same breath oppress their mothers, their sisters, wives, daughters, and lovers with this bitch hole culture. Now, tell me, how are you then any different from the system we are both oppressed by and march against? We can't march for Black Lives Matter and for the right to feel safe and valued from other communities if we are not willing to practice every aspect of those demands thoroughly within our own communities. And yes, we can argue that it's the history of slavery and racism that has created the deterioration of our Black communities. Absolutely, it can be someone else's fault. But I'll be damned if it's not our responsibility to mend and put back our communities and our dignity. So, as you develop your relationship with power, respect the feminine nature of things. It is the intangible aspect that helps to cultivate the heart and spirit in your life. And the feminine, as I speak of it, can be hosted by a man or a woman. It is the unquantifiable quality that power will lead you to believe is unimportant. How do you quantify the one thing we all need authentically? Love. So don't think for one moment that because that woman or that man stays at home to raise their children, your children, to fill their souls with the presence of love, or to nourish the spirit of your home with the presence of that which is most high, is less important and less valuable because their contribution doesn't consist of cash or dollar signs. Respect every contribution made to your life, whether you can count it or not. Because you are entitled to nothing. Be grateful. Be grateful. Do not let power strip you of your gratitude, because you are not entitled to love, consideration, acknowledgement, or even kindness. So when it is given to you, it is a gift in all its forms. This feeling of entitlement can also lead one to the power of false admiration that concerns us with how many followers we may have, how many material possessions, or strategizing different ways to gain praise and therefore importance, because you think that is an expression of love and acceptance, and that is a tragic pitfall. Take it from me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have admiration. I'm saying it's not a healthy thing to desire. Desiring admiration, recognition, followers are a false sense of power that is a breeding ground for losing your precious self. You must remember, we are never the thing to be admired. Only ever allow how the Most High is working through you to be admired, for that is your true power source. And these are just a few pitfalls surrounding power to be conscious of that I've learned. I've fallen into some of these pits myself. And so, as you strengthen your mind, do not forget to open your heart and nurture your spirit. People with the most authentic power are compassionate and know that they are here to serve and not to be served. Cultivate your power to be responsible and wise. Cultivate your power to be a shield and a shepherd for all that you love and you find important. Cultivate your power in a way in which we see your higher self shining through instead of your insecurities, your pain, your rage, your disappointments, and self-centeredness. Cultivate your power to be the men that this institution, that your lovers, your wives, your husbands, sisters, brothers, mothers, fathers, and this world can be proud of. Cultivate your power to live up to the hope that you inspired in me. your families, and all that believe in you. You are the future, and we desperately need you. And I'll be watching, and I love you. Thank you.
You've been listening to JanetFitBeautyStyle.com, a Janet Shield Scott podcast. Your beauty, wellness, entertainment, and lifestyle expert talk guide. I'm Janet Shield Scott. You can like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. For more fun and informative, and celebrity interviews, log on to JanetFitBeautyStyle.com or JanetShieldScott.com. Remember to love, laugh, and live your life with style. As we end this, let's take a moment to relax. Take a deep breath, inhale, and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. As you go throughout the day, stop and take a pause, chill and relax. Please keep in mind that all things which are impossible with man are possible with God.